Imagine this. Someone looks you straight in the eyes and says something cruel. Maybe they mock how you look. Maybe they call you lazy, ungrateful, stupid. You feel that first sting, that tiny electric shock in your chest. And then, nothing catches fire. No explosion in your mind, no storm in your stomach. Just a calm, steady awareness. You see their face, you hear their words, and instead of anger, you feel a quiet curiosity. What's happening inside them that they need to speak like this? You answer calmly. You decide what to do next. And when you walk away, you don't replay it 1,000 times in your head. It doesn't haunt your shower, your pillow, or the bus ride home. What would it be like if almost no one could push you into emotional chaos anymore? Not your parents, not your partner, not your boss, not that one person who always knows what to say to hurt you. Could you really move through life like that? Aware, sometimes hurt, sometimes sad, but almost never truly bothered by someone's behavior? I'm Alex.
And I am GiggleFish.
And today, we explore why some people can ruin your day in 5 seconds, and how to become the kind of person they just can't control anymore. We should start with something uncomfortable but honest. You will never become a robot who never feels anger. Your brain is wired for it. When someone threatens you, disrespects you, or crosses a line, the amygdala, your inner alarm system, lights up and sends signals through your body. Heart rate goes up, muscles tense, your prefrontal cortex, the rational part, gets a little more quiet. It's your built-in fight or flight mode. So the real question isn't, how do I never get angry? The real question is, how do I stop letting other people own my nervous system? How do I feel the first wave without letting it swallow me, control my behavior, or poison my day?
So you're saying it's okay that I feel like flipping a table sometimes? Just maybe don't actually flip the table?
Exactly. If you never felt anything, you wouldn't be peaceful. You'd be numb. The goal isn't to delete anger. The goal is to become so emotionally skilled that other people's behavior lands differently inside you. And psychology has a lot to say about that. Let's zoom in on what actually happens in that tiny moment between they said it and you exploded. Imagine someone says to you, "Wow, you're really not good at this, are you?" The words hit your ears. That's the event, but that's not what hurts. What hurts is the story your mind builds around those words. Maybe the story is, "I'm a failure." They see it. Everyone sees it. "I'll never be enough." Or maybe the story is, "How dare they? They're always talking down to me. I'll show them how wrong they are." The event is like a spark. The story is the gasoline. So there's a very powerful idea here. You can't always control the spark. You can learn to control the gasoline.
That's oddly comforting. Like, congratulations, your brain is a drama director, but you can rewrite the script.
Exactly. And that's the first big shift in not being bothered by anyone. You stop seeing your reactions as proof that others control you, and you start seeing them as stories your own mind is telling. Not because you're weak or broken, but because you're human. Let's go a bit deeper. Think of your inner world like 3 layers. Not a list, not a model you need to memorize. Just 3 levels you can feel. On the surface, there's your body, the heat in your face, the tight jaw, the buzzing in your chest. Under that, there's your thinking. They're disrespecting me. They don't value me. I'm always the one who gets blamed. And beneath both, there's something even deeper. Your sense of self. The quiet answer to the question, what am I worth? If deep down you secretly believe, I'm not okay, but I need other people to prove that I am, then every criticism, every eye roll, every ignored message hits right into that wound. That's why some people's words feel like bullets. They are not just opinions, they are echoes of your deepest fears. Psychologists and therapists have written about this for decades. Books on emotional intelligence, boundaries, and dealing with difficult people all circle around one central truth. You stop being so bothered by others when your worth no longer depends on their behavior. Not when everyone suddenly becomes kind. Not when life stops being unfair. But when the center of your self-respect moves inside you.
So the cheat code is, I'm okay, even if you're weird today.
Pretty much. There's even a classic idea in psychology called I'm okay, you're okay, which is about relating to others from a place where you see both yourself and the other as fundamentally worthy, even when behavior is messy. If deep down your inner posture shifts from I need you to treat me perfectly so I can feel safe, to I'm fundamentally okay and I'll decide what I tolerate, the same words land in a completely different nervous system. Now, let's make this less abstract. Imagine you're in school or at work, and there's that one person who always makes sarcastic comments. They say, "Oh, wow, you did this? Brave." Old, you might feel your stomach drop. The mind jumps in, they're better than me. Everyone thinks I'm a joke. The anger rises, mixed with shame, and you either explode, shut down, or go home, replaying it all night. Now imagine a different version. The words hit. The spark happens. You feel that first little surge in your chest. But instead of believing the first story your brain spits out, you pause, just for a second. Inside, you quietly think, okay, my body is reacting. That's just my alarm system. Their sarcasm is about their map of the world, their insecurities, their habits. It doesn't define who I am. In that moment, you're doing cognitive reappraisal, mentally reframing what their behavior means. Studies show this kind of reinterpretation lowers anger and leads to calmer responses, even under stress.
So when someone acts like a jerk, I could think, a wild, insecure human appears, instead of I am trash?
Exactly. You're not pretending their behavior is okay. You're just refusing to let your nervous system treat their words as a verdict on your worth. And here's something else. Even advanced anger therapies like acceptance and commitment therapy don't try to make anger disappear. They teach people to allow the emotion to be there, like a wave, while choosing actions aligned with their values instead of their impulses. So the feeling might still arise, but your relationship to that feeling changes. You stop thinking, I'm angry, therefore I must attack or defend. And you start thinking, I'm angry, that's a messenger. I'll listen, and then I'll decide what to do. Picture this like standing on a bridge over a river. The river is your anger, your hurt, your frustration. Most people fall straight into the river and get carried away. They say things they don't mean, send messages they regret, slam doors they have to reopen. Learning not to be easily bothered is like learning to stand on that bridge and watch the water pass under you. You still see the waves. You still feel the pull, but you don't jump.
And if the river is extra wild, maybe step away from the edge. Take a walk. Drink water. Do not text your ex.
Exactly. Even basic emotional regulation skills like taking a breath, grounding in your body, or stepping away for a moment are powerful. It sounds simple, but simple things done consistently reshape your brain over time. There's another piece to this. Understanding that people are not just mean or nice. Most people are walking around with huge invisible backpacks full of stress, fear, unmet needs, childhood wounds, and bad coping skills. The colleague who snaps at you might be exhausted and terrified of failing. The parent who criticizes you might never have learned how to express love without control. The stranger who insults you online might be carrying a level of loneliness you can't even imagine. This doesn't excuse everything, but it gives you options for how to see them. Instead of, "They're attacking me," it becomes, "They're drowning in their own stuff, and some of it is splashing onto me." When you start seeing this, you begin to take things less personally. Not because you're weak, but because you see more.
Like realizing the storm isn't about you. It just happened to rain when you went outside.
Yes. And once you see that, you start asking different questions. Instead of, "Why are they like this to me?" you ask, "What do I want to do with the way they are?" And this is where boundaries come in. Being unbothered doesn't mean staying with someone who constantly disrespects you. It doesn't mean letting your boss yell at you forever or laughing off emotional abuse. It means you stop reacting from a place of panic and start responding from a place of self-respect. You can calmly say, "I don't like being spoken to this way." You can walk away from a conversation that has turned poisonous. You can block that account, decline that invitation, limit your time with that relative. Not as a dramatic revenge, but as a quiet, steady choice. I choose peace. I choose environments that don't constantly injure my nervous system. Now imagine yourself a few years from now. Someone raises their voice at you. You still feel that little wave, heart faster, shoulders tight. But instead of spiraling, you notice it. You breathe. You feel your feet on the ground. You remember, my worth is not on the table here. Their reaction is about their inner world. I'll decide what this means for me. Sometimes you'll laugh it off. Sometimes you'll respond calmly. Sometimes you'll walk away and never go back. But what you won't do as often is carry them home in your head and replay the scene until 3 a.m. That's what not being bothered by anyone actually feels like. Not zero emotion, but less possession. They don't live inside you anymore.
So, the real superpower is not I never feel angry, but I'm the one who decides what my anger makes me do.
Yes. And that's something science, therapy, and a lot of wise books all agree on. Emotional freedom isn't being untouchable. It's being responsible for your inner world. You learn the patterns of your mind. You see the stories it tells. You practice new ones. I am okay. You are loud today. That's information, not destiny. Maybe as you're listening, you're thinking of specific people. The friend who always turns everything into a competition. The teacher who embarrasses students in front of the class. The family member who never has a kind word for you. Notice how your body reacts just imagining them. That heavy feeling in the chest, the tension in your jaw, the urge to defend yourself. What would it be like to meet them next time with a different inner posture? Not pretending it doesn't hurt, but silently repeating to yourself, "This is their storm. I don't have to stand in the middle of it. I can step to the side and decide what's right for me." That shift, tiny, quiet, internal, is where your power lives.
It's like upgrading from I am the punching bag of the universe to I am the bouncer at the door of my own brain.
Exactly. And a good bouncer doesn't stop people from existing. They just decide who gets in, how long they stay, and how they behave. You can't shut down the world. You can choose what you allow to live rent-free in your mind. Over time, with awareness, practice, maybe therapy, maybe journaling, maybe meditation, your brain learns. The anger still waves sometimes, but it passes more quickly. The hooks that used to drag you under lose their sharpness. You remain you. So maybe the real title of this topic isn't how to never get angry or bothered by anyone, but how to stay yourself even when people are difficult. To feel the feelings, to understand the stories, to see the wounds behind the words, and then to choose your response from a place of deep, quiet self-respect. That's not magic. That's a skill. And like every real skill, it grows with practice.
So, if someone annoys you today, you can try a tiny experiment. Notice the first reaction. Ask what story your brain is telling. And then choose a slightly kinder story about yourself.
If you've listened all the way here, I'm guessing there is at least one person you'd love to be less affected by. I'm curious. Who is hardest for you not to take personally? Family, friends, strangers, or yourself? Tell us in the comments if you feel comfortable, and maybe what one situation you'd like to handle differently next time. If this helped you see your anger and your reactions in a new light, it would mean a lot if you gently tap like, subscribe, and stay with us for more conversations about the hidden mechanics of your mind. I'm Alex.
And I am GiggleFish.
Thanks for watching, and remember, your peace is not a gift from other people. It's a skill you can build from the inside out.